Hello, everyone. Welcome back to More Weekly, the show that brings you the latest news on Alhambra High. I'm your co-anchor, Eder.
And I'm your co-anchor, Melanie. First off, here are a few announcements.
On Thursday, March 24th, there will be a minimum day with period 1, 3, and 5. On Friday, March 25th, there will be a minimum day also with period 2, 4, and 6. Dismissal is at 1:22 p.m. for both days.
It is spring break from March 28th through April 1st. Take time to have a nice break from working. We are almost at the end of the school year. Recently, a pause in federal gas prices has been considered due to the skyrocketing gas prices. Here to give us more information on that is Colin.
Recently, congressional Democrats have been considering pausing federal gas taxes as prices remain high. Currently, the federal tax on gasoline is 18.4 cents per gallon. This new proposal would suspend this tax until January 1st, 2023, which is not ideal because it would disproportionately benefit large oil companies, lead to funding shortages in infrastructure, and would be contradictory to the Democrats' stance on climate change. First of all, this new proposal would disproportionately benefit gas companies without helping consumers. As Russia's invasion of Ukraine sends gas prices soaring, fossil fuel companies are raking in record profits. Wall Street Journal reporter Katie Stech-Farrick said, gas companies are already massively profiting off of the crisis. Removing taxes would allow them to prosper even more. Therefore, this gas tax would not have solvency and would allow large corporations to accumulate more monies as Americans continue to suffer. Secondly, this proposal would lead to funding shortages in infrastructure. This is because a large portion of the federal gas tax goes to funding this infrastructure. Removing a gas tax for 8 months would deprive huge amounts of money to such processes, especially after the passage of the bipartisan infrastructure law. Finally, this proposal is contradictory to the Democrats' party's stance on climate change. Providing financial support to the very companies that Democrats have been trying to limit their power of illustrates regression. This is likely to perpetuate the nation's over-reliance on fossil fuels and will delay conversion to renewable energy. This is counterproductive to the nation's climate goals. Therefore, this tax holiday proposal is not a wise decision. In conclusion, due to the possible net negatives permeating every facet of this legislation, it emphasizes that this proposal is heavily burdensome.
Thanks for the update, Colin. The staff here at the More Weekly discussed whether or not Governor Newsom should reinstate the mask mandates. Here's what we decided.
California schools lifted the statewide mask mandate on March 11th, and for our district, we saw this ruling effective March 14th. Nowadays, masks have become optional even indoors, a complete 180 in policy from post-winter break when students were required to start wearing masks at all times and even encouraged to start double masking. With COVID-19 still very much a threat to many families and communities today, the More Weekly is in favor of reinstating the school mask mandate set forth by Governor Newsom in a 26-4 vote. According to data provided by the Department of Public Health, nearly 1 in 4 people are still not fully vaccinated. And statistically speaking, masks have been proven to reduce transmissions around 23%. Our staff is also aware of the stigma of not only taking off one's mask, but the choice to keep it on. Division between these two decisions would be solved if everyone were to be sanctioned again to keep it on. The glaring issue is that California is the most populated state in the U.S., and with the nature of the COVID-19 virus, a high population correlates with greater transmission rates. With the advent of a new subvariant, the Omicron BA.2, that is still on the rise, the timing of this legislation seems inappropriate. A differing opinion might feel that because our school does weekly testing, and that nearly everyone is aware of the benefits of mask wearing, that masks should be optional. However, it seems unfair that some people get to decide whether they feel like wearing a mask, as opposed to those who don't have a choice, with family members who are at risk having a weakened immune system. The More Weekly is hesitant to accept this mask mandate lift after all the work we've dedicated to stopping the spread since August, when we first returned to in-person school. We want the school to be a safe place for learning, not a place to fear for one's health.
On the topic of masks, when the mask mandate lifted, we asked some of our students whether they were going to continue wearing their masks or not. Here's what they told us.
My name is Nathan Maxfield, and I won't wear my mask for next week Monday. I'll be on here.
My name's Sean, and no, I will not continue to wear masks on Monday. Starting Monday.
My name is Christopher. I'll probably still be wearing a mask on Monday. I'm just used to that wearing a mask now. So.
For your thoughts.
That concludes this week's edition of the More Weekly. Make sure to tune in next time for more videos. Thank you all for watching.
Have a nice spring break. Go Moors!